Welcome to MMA Fancast. My name is Luke Payson. Welcome back to everyone who's already a subscriber to the channel. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe so you can see more great interviews like the one coming at you right now with special guest back on the show again, Cash the dog and his mom, Cheyenne BatQueen Hall. Welcome to the show, Cash and Cheyenne.
Hello, thank you. Be good to see you again.
Always good to see both of you again. He is quite the fixture on MMA Fancast. I appreciate you bringing him back on the show as he's such a big part. And for people who don't know, Cheyenne travels with Cash. I've seen her at fights and events, and Cash is usually somewhere up in the hotel or someplace. So you never.
He's coming to this one.
He is. He's
Yep,
coming to
he's
this
coming.
one.
He's staring
Oh,
at the Marriott.
Oh, that's right. And that's the last place I saw you was the Marriott, but you weren't fighting and he was upstairs. It was a hilarious video of him barking at the dogs on the trail. So we'll
Yep.
probably be doing that again. Well, you brought up the Marriott because you're going to be fighting March 16th at the Waterfront Marriott in Morgantown, West Virginia, which it used to be your home, a place near and dear to you. It's very great for you for Made Man Promotions. It's your third pro fight. You're 2-1, so this would really keep your pro fight going with a big win. What are your thoughts coming in to this fight, and what does it feel like to be coming off now 2 wins in a row?
Yeah, so we're hoping to just keep the win train rolling for this one. I'm definitely ready to step back in there. We've been staying pretty active. My last fight was in November, and that's like the biggest gap I've had for a little bit. So hoping to just keep the win train rolling, and I'm feeling more confident coming off of 2 wins than I would be otherwise, and just excited to fight in Morgantown again. I love fighting in West Virginia just because it's a little closer to some family and friends. So I get to hang out with all of them afterwards and stuff, and get to hit up some of my old haunts from back when I lived in West Virginia.
Yeah, and that's fantastic. You get to be close. You went to WU, so that's like practically on campus right there. So
Yeah.
perfect spot for you guys, which is great. So we're going to talk a little bit about your world travels, but before we get to your world travels, you still hold the record. I should have done it when you were in Peru, but
I
we didn't. But
know.
you still hold the record because we did a video when you were in Iceland. So still probably one of my favorite interviews, obviously, because you're so fun to interview, but also you and Chris are going over there for a BJJ seminar, and it was pretty fantastic. But before we get to your world travels, what have you been doing as far as training and working at the Mat Factory on your skills since you last fought in November, like you said?
Oh yeah, I've just been staying in the gym. We never really take too big of a break, even after fights and stuff. Try to just stay focused, and yeah, I've been trying to learn, like, just to tune up some stuff in my jujitsu game that, like, I needed to tune up. Had been working on positional control with some stuff from that last fight, and then just maintaining top control and all that. Because sometimes just strict jujitsu, it's very different from jujitsu for MMA. You don't necessarily want to be pulling guard and doing a whole lot from the bottom, or even really finding yourself on the bottom, unless you're Ryan Hall, and I am not, despite our last names being same. But just, yeah,
Distant
working on some
cousin,
of that.
a
Yeah, just
distant cousin. Yeah.
yeah, he's a distant cousin. I wish I'd rope him in and make him teach me some heel hooks, but
Oh man.
I know. So we've been working on some of that, and then just get back in there with my boxing and kickboxing, and with my striking coaches working on some stuff that they like, some holes in my game that they saw in that last fight. So I think we've been cleaning it up pretty good, and training has been consistent, and even through the holidays and the new year and all that. So
Well, that's good. It's really tricky to keep training consistent through all the holidays. That's one of the reasons why a fight now allows you to kind of gear back up. Your last two big wins, you really showed the obviously you train at the Mat Factory, so no surprise that you can control on the ground, great top pressure, a lot of ground and pound. I remember you sometimes having to kind of come back to that position, so it makes sense that you're looking to kind of retain your position and things like that. Really fantastic stuff. Now let's get to the real exciting news, and we'll wrap up then on your prediction versus Caroline. But you might have been elsewhere, but I know for sure you and Chris Went to Peru and climbed Monte Picchu and slept in some glass bubble that was tied to the side of a mountain, but that might have been someplace else. So walk us through your most recent world travels.
Oh yeah. So we went to Peru. We spent some time in Lima and Cusco. Most of the time we spent was in Cusco. And that's where, or it's near where Machu Picchu is and stuff. So we
Okay.
did, when we were going there, we did a 4-day hike through the woods, or I guess it was the rainforest and the Andes Mountains. But that was a once in a lifetime opportunity. It was incredible. Yeah, I would definitely recommend that for anybody that's gonna make the trip down there. It's you get to see so much more than the train, because there is a train that goes out there. It's like, I think, a couple hour ride, but and a lot of people do that. But if you know, have the time and you can go do those camping days, I mean, you really can't replace that experience. So yeah, because you get to sleep out there for like 3 or 4 nights. I mean, they have cold showers sometimes, but it's like you're kind of just out there on your own with your guide, and then the porters who carry up some of the food that they make for you and stuff. So it's a really great experience. And Machu Picchu itself, just the ruins, it's something that me telling someone about it, I can't even really adequately put into words uh how that makes you feel, to just to see something that old. And we don't really know how they got there, and you can't really, and it's hard to tell how they moved all those big stones up there. They don't really have people don't really have answers for that, so it's just really awe-inspiring to see just all that stuff. So it was really cool. And then we did sleep on the side of a mountain. We ended up having to rock climb up there. It was like 1,200 feet. And Chris and I, we don't rock climb. We're not rock climbers. But yeah, it was like 1,200 feet up in the air. And we went into that one thinking, okay, well, people do this that are regular people. They're going to make this kind of touristy, and it's probably easy. And we got halfway up there. We looked at each other and we were like, this is kind of hard. It was kind of hard. So that probably took about an hour to get up there. And once you get up there, you're in like this big pod, and
Yeah.
it's kind of shaped like a capsule, like a pill capsule. But the whole thing is clear, so you can move back all of the curtains and just see out to the sacred valley of the Incas, and you sleep in there and you can see the stars. And it's an experience in and of itself too. That you get there are little windows in there you can open too, so you can, I mean, if I wanted to, I could. I mean, you could like drop something down there, but I actually had FaceTime my parents from up there, and I put my
Wow.
phone out one of the little windows, and my dad was like, "You're gonna drop your phone."
Well, if you did, it'd be a great story, and they'd get to watch it as it fell 200
I
feet down.
know.
How'd you guys get that side picture like of the capsule? Was somebody climbing? Was one of the porters climbing or something? Because you got
Yes.
a beautiful. Because visually, I picture everything you're saying. People should check out all the photos you posted because this glass pod on the side of the wall is just. I think you guys got a great picture of you guys in it
Yeah.
from the outside. So just wow, just
It
fantastic.
was. Yeah, so one of the guys that was our guide, he went over and took a photo of for us, but it was really neat. Because and so they sleep in there are 3 pods up there for the people that are the guests. And then there's a main pod that's it's shaped like more of a circle. Caches. It's shaped like more of a circle. And we would go over there for meals. So like breakfast and dinner, you'd have to climb over there. You hook in, put your little harness on, climb over for breakfast and dinner. Chris got a video of me doing that, I think, too. And
Makes you
but
appreciate meals more when you have to like
yes,
hook in.
yes,
That's
and that's what I was gonna say. So those guides, the way that got up there, they carried all of that food and all of the cookware to make our meals on their backs when we climbed up. So they're so much faster than us. But that's how the whole pod got made. They would climb up there with like one of the sections on their back, and they put it together on the side of the cliff. So I thought that was really neat. But
yeah,
yeah.
it is super cool. Did you guys do because you've been known Costa Rica? There was a picture of you and Chris Dempsey doing jujitsu on the beach. Did you guys do any? Are there any gyms over there? Was it just fun touristy, or did you guys do something MMA jujitsu related? Because you never know with you two.
Well, we were gonna try to do something because there is a gym over there. Our one of our friends, Scott Rendos, he trains over at the React gym over in oh, I can't remember that place. I can't remember the name of the town, but he went and he said that there was a really good MMA gym down there. but we got stopped by the protests at Machu Picchu. And so we ended up not getting back home. We thought we were going to get home at like 7 p.m. And we ended up having to do an extra like couple hours of hiking, like 7 miles, 4 hours of hiking to get home. And we got home around like 3 in the morning. So we were going to go that next morning to the gym, and it was just not in the cards because we,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Yeah, Chris had
we
told
had
me
a long night.
at the 247 fight, Chris had told me about the protest, and sadly, it's kind of one of those things where there's some corporation trying to take Monte Picchu
Yes.
away. So, can you
Hmm.
talk a little bit, since you guys were there on the ground for the protest, and it's not like most of our media is covering this. So, what's the situation like over there, and what's kind of the political climate?
Yeah. So I'm sure he told you last year that's why it got canceled, because they had an
Yeah.
election and the political climate was poor. But this year the political climate's a little better, but there still are protests. And we kind of are in agreement with them, because the government is trying to sell Machu Picchu to a private investor. So I think that would take away a lot of the jobs of like the native people who live there, that are descendants of the Incas, and who, like my tour guide makes his money, and they provide for their family, and um, with that money. And then we would stay at these little homes of people that live in the countryside, and like, you pay five soles to take a shower there or whatever. And like, they kind of make money off of that too. So a lot of those people will lose work. And not to mention that if they would sell Machu Picchu, they would not limit the private investor probably would not limit the amount of people on there per day. And right now they cap it. I think it's 500. I'm not sure how many it is. I want to say it's 500 per day, but they put a cap on it just because the wear and tear of like the foot traffic through there has been problematic. And just like the wear and tear of the site and stuff. So I think probably a private investor wouldn't care how many people come through there for the day, and then it would probably degrade over time, unfortunately. So, and they've already blocked off some of the places, like what you can't really climb on much of the ruins. You can't even really go up any of like the original Inca stairs that they built, because they don't want that to be eroded, which is something that unfortunately they probably wouldn't care about if they sold it. So, and also the money wouldn't come back into the people there if it would
Yeah.
come into that company.
Yeah. That's
So that
it's even.
sucks.
Yeah, it does. I hope there's some good resolution to that. You kind of can't even really imagine some site
No.
as famous as that being
Yeah.
private industry. It's just, it's kind of an odd thing to think about, but I'm glad you guys still had a great, safe time down there. Like I said at the top, you were on the show in Iceland. Hopefully, one of these days you'll get someplace far flung again, and we'll be able to do a video interview of you someplace else, MMA or Muay Thai or Jiu-Jitsu related. You are taking on to bring this back to the fight March 16th. You're taking on a very experienced pro who's had 12 pro fights, and she's going into her 13th fight. You're 3 fights in. What makes you excited about this matchup versus Caroline Biskup, and how did this fight come together? And then we'll kind of get your viewpoint on the fight.
Yeah. So so Isaac presented this fight to me. Actually, it was probably right before we left, I would think. And I didn't even look at her before we signed the contract. I just let my coaches check out her fights, and I listened to they all gave me the green light, and so we signed it. And then I'm really excited about this fight, just because I think she is so experienced, and so it'll be a good little test. She's probably more experienced than almost anybody I've fought since my first fight. I know that Fernanda had several fights as well for my first pro fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's definitely very experienced, and I'm excited to test myself against somebody that's had that many fights and been fighting for that long. I think she's been fighting probably significantly longer than I have. So, but I definitely think that our game plan is going to work, and we've got what it takes to come out on top. And yeah, I'm just really excited to to show my new skills and put on a show for Morgantown.
Well, that is the great mindset as always. A special thanks for having Cash as a guest on the show. Always wonderful.
He's a real star.
There he is. He is the real star. I can't wait. You're by far the well. Here's the thing. You would know him. Tanner Hall, again, not a
Oh
relation.
yeah,
Tanner Hall,
cousin Tanner.
cousin Tanner Hall is the smiliest, happiest male I've ever had on the show, and you're the smiliest, happiest female fighter I've ever had on the show, and you guys are
Hall
both
thing.
Halls.
The
What do you
Hall
think?
thing. I don't know.
But you have been on the show more and longer. So, and I've always appreciated you because you just have such an infectious personality. Just like you and Tanner both represent kind of what you can do. You can be really tough and really dominant and active in BJJ and MMA, but also be sweethearts at the same time. So I appreciate you both, and thanks so much for coming on the show. And can't wait. There's a lot of people fighting from Pittsburgh down there, Morgantown, March 16th at the Waterfront. Thanks so much to Cheyenne, BatQueen Hall, and the famous, the handsome Cash. There you go. Thank you guys for coming on the show. Take
Thanks,
care.
Luke.
Thanks a lot. All right. Bye.